And here we are in my email section that I got a few days ago. This was a polygraph I did on October the 14th, which just happened to be my parents' anniversary, whom I passed, and the anniversary of the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962 that my good friend John Fitzgerald Kennedy and Bobby Kennedy solved. In fact, John gave the credit all to Bobby. But remember, I am their intuitive. And here you can see it was an email. And here are the results thereof. We shall read them. Barely. I guess we can read that. Just barely big enough. We don't need this on anymore. Tired of showing that all the time. Report on polygraph. On October 14, 2021, Mr. James Michael Chittum voluntarily agreed to take a polygraph exam prior to the test. Mr. Chittum signed a form stating he was taking the test voluntarily. This document has been retained for an examiner's file. The main issue under consideration will determine whether or not Mr. Chittum was truthful to his responses to the relevant test questions. We will show you what I testified to in just a few moments and everything. But here are the three questions. This is a common, actually I didn't like it this way. My other two polygraphs are a little different and everything, but this is the way it's supposed to be done. The following relevant test questions were used during the examination. Did you intentionally lie or give false information on your statement that I have witnessed on 10/14/2021? Response was no. Is there any false or misleading information on your statement that I have witnessed on 10/14/2021? Response, no. In the information that you have provided in your statement that I have witnessed, because my statement you're going to see soon, that I have witnessed on 10/14/2021, truthful to the best of your knowledge. Response, yet. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, and let's see what's going on here. At this time, a polygraph examination was administered to determine Mr. Chittum's truthfulness to the relevant test questions. Examiner's opinion, Mr. James Michael Chittum was truthful to the relevant test questions. No deception was indicated. No deception. Now, we're going to get to look at the statements. So here are the full statements that I've made. As you see, look at that. Why are you not? I signed the top of it. Mr. Fulmer, Stan Fulmer signed the bottom of it and everything, page 1 of 4. We'll go to the next page. This is the first statement with questions on it. This is the second statement. As you see, I've signed it at the top. He's done his information at the bottom. This is the original copy. This is proof beyond any shadow of a doubt. I will go down and get a few copies made. If this is original, you'll find the pen is inked. Page 3 of 4. This is the third statement here. As you see, we're going to read this. He signed it 10/14/2021. And myself. This, like I said, the originals, I'll be making copies of these. As you see, I've condensed this down to where I thought you could read it. And then I typed it exactly as it was on the other statements. And I'm actually not going to read this for you guys. You can read it yourself. And I'll go slowly down where you can read it. The first statement about me and John Fitzgerald Kennedy in 1953. Me and other people also involved. And the two questions. So Stan Former read all this, knew everything about it. As I typed this personally myself. Now statement 2. Now you can read it. Barely, I have to admit, but, you know, that's as wide as my camcorder is. This was when John Fitzgerald Kennedy came to see me in 1963 at my request. I would not go to Washington, D.C. I wanted nothing to do with the CIA, although I did sign a contract as a deputy director with my own section, but I changed the contract, changed certain words in it because I was not going to sell my soul. The 2 men who came and had me sign the contract, when they saw it, go, I don't know whether we can accept that. I said, well, John will. You just take it to him. He'll accept it. That's all we all need to know. Damn, I thought this stuff was bigger than that. Okay, as you see, but it's not finished. The second statement is not finished. Page 2. In that instant, he and only he was being given the destiny of man and one of his many paths. Guaranteed. I'm sure this camcorder should be a little bit better. It just keeps on fading in and out on me. Now one of the questions of the 2, I've run out of paper. This thing, man, what is it? Gig that I have to keep on going out on it. So excuse me. So we'll have to get to the next page. That was pretty. That's funny. Geez, why is it doing that to me? And this is the second question to that second statement. Now the third statement, which happened on 9/11/1966, and Bobby and Teddy came to see me, and as you see, the first paragraph, they could not open up the secret document of JFK left for them until 9/9/1966. Since I am of Cherokee descent, Ataka or Atacoa, the holy mountain of the Cherokees, is mine. On 6/6/99, the opposite of 9/9/66, the sacred altar was desecrated. It was desecrated, though, on 6/6/99. The opposite of those numbers. Now the last page. And now the two questions. Remember, Stan Fulmer, polygrapher, read all this, understood all this, read it several times, signed to prove that he had seen it, read it, understood it, and then he asked me the questions. And you saw there was no deception. I was the intuitive of the Kennedys, John Fitzgerald Kennedy especially. And Teddy Kennedy did lie about Chappaquiddick. But you don't know what he lied about. I do. And he didn't kill Mary Jo, no matter what you all think. I'm not an evil man. I would not have somebody lie because I don't believe in lying. But I knew full well that Teddy was going to have to lie in order to stay in power. Because you would not believe the story he told you. But Detective Look, Deputy Look, told you the story that you could not accept. Of which I will have to remind you of one of these days and tell you the true story. I would have had Teddy to testify to that, but Teddy's people refused me an audience over and over and over and over again. In fact, his son Patrick Kennedy's people refused me an audience. Many people have refused me an audience, and that is sad. They refused the truth, and that is truly sad. That they didn't have the time to even hear the truth, even in its shortened form. So, there you go, people. I'll take a polygraph on anything you want me to take a polygraph on, and you will find out that there is no deception in my bones. Because I refuse to lie about anything. And Teddy Kennedy is the only person I ever asked to lie. Yes, the only person, knowing full well that he needed to stay in power. And here was the date that I did this. Let's move this over, zoom it in, and you can see what part of the country I'm in. Now, I'm not in Marion, but you see this TV, you see the time, it almost matches my time. I'm just 8-10 seconds ahead. Let's see if it changes to 2:55. Not yet. So I'm obviously about 30 seconds ahead of time. There, it just changed. Boom. See? 30 seconds. I said about 30 seconds, and you saw on my counter it was exactly 30 seconds that I was ahead. Talk about being intuitive. Do you all understand that? I'm going to do a video after this that shows you my intuitive powers. So you see how gracious the one Father in heaven, Jesus Christ, was to me? He just proved to you, and you can't accept it, just proved to you that I was intuitive. I said I was about 30 seconds ahead. I didn't know, had not tested it, and exactly at the time that my clock said 30, it had changed. I zoomed in and showed it to you.